So we're gonna change the thermostat and the engine coolant temperature sensor, or ECT.
This thing didn't have a computer on it, huh?
On the camera?
No, it doesn't have a
The
computer.
truck? No.
For an OBD reader.
None of my trucks do. They're too old. They didn't start doing that till like 96. Yeah, everything pre-96 for the most part was either OBD1 or OBD or non.
No.
96 was the year that a lot of shit.
Did have them.
80s did not have OBD because OBD didn't even come out yet. They had a small computer, but not OBD. Wasn't really, OBD is onboard diagnostics, so it's something that you can actually interface with. But the late 80s is when OBD came out, where you could jump the wires in the engine compartment and get the engine light to flash.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah, that was OBD. Then OBD1, which came out, was a different type of plug, but it was kind of the same shit. And then
I have a fucking brand new one of these.
I got one sitting in my house too, but they're cheap enough. Or I just said, fuck it, I'll go buy another one and keep the other one as handy. So let's see what we got to get to here. It's right here next to our, I think it's right there. I'm trying to slide. Okay, yeah, it's right here next to the fuel line. So you could probably just move the fuel line out of the way. What I do need to do though is take the air cleaner off and the cap off. Now the cap is marked. Go in my truck, grab a Sharpie. I'm just gonna double check the markings real quick. Cause I'm probably just, nah, you know what, fuck it, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna pull the wires off. I mean, it's not like it's hard for me to figure out what they are. Forward is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But they kind of did change that though some of the years past. So what we got here is we got our thermostat's there. Got this vacuum connection has to come off. I broke this thing trying to get it off one time. Fucking sensor's like 40 bucks. And all this is a stupid temperature vac sensor. And then we got one down here. Now I've learned to be very gentle taking these off because these little plastic tips break off real easy. Got new bolts there. Those are should be 1/2 inch. I stand to be correct on that. I'm not sure if I am or not. Put that socket down in there. It is 1/2 inch. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the I'm gonna do that so that I can burp the shit out. No, let's do this. I want to throw a bunch of it back into the tank. So what we do is we open the lever vent, close the lever vent, and then open that up. Put that back on there. Crack that back open. Suck the air back in. We're still gonna get some that leaks out, but that could be the end of our world. Okay, so there's this. Let me just pull this wire off there. I should be able just to kind of pick that up and move it out the way. Okay, now we'll pull the rotor off. Let's look at that real quick. Ooh, shit. Looking a little chewed up, don't you think? Look at the end. A little worn in, no? Got a point right there in the end. Not anymore. That's not too bad though. I did replace that. The contacts aren't too bad. Hello, Auto Club. Yes, this is him. What can I do for you? Yes, sir, it does. See, we got that fixed. They can't put the whole name because there's not enough room in the system. We were talking with CSR about that. You got the phonetics. Okay. He's sitting here at our shop, but he's not BSP. There's nothing to do with BSP. I know, but all T3s, no matter BSP or not, have to be tested. So we have to send somebody with it. Okay. Where in Buena Park is it? I know you do. I've got questions too. Echo. Yes. What was that like? Okay. What was that like? La Palma and Valley View or something like that, or? Well, hey, there's no map though. I know we have it too. There is, it's in the toolbar actually under D3. Okay. Alright, so okay. We'll get him to put an ETA on it. Okay. That's fine. I'll have him run it. Make sure you put the reroute incentive on the call. So we don't have any dispatch right now, so we can't do APD on our end. Yeah, the reroute incentive, $10. All right, and it came in as a T4 though. It's not no T3 at all whatsoever on it. Oh God. I know, but the problem that winds up arising out of that is because the call originated with the T3 on it. I understand where you're getting at. They just want to jump, but the testing procedures, anything that comes in with a T3 code on it, even if it gets changed to a T4, still counts as a battery call. Yeah, there's a service bulletin out on it. And it's a service bulletin. That's all right. I'll have them run it, and we'll just leave it as a T4. But that's one thing just to note in the future. That's how that works. Is anything if it originates with a T3, even if it turns into a 6, counts as a non-matched, non-tested call. If you A-called it and the originating code on the A-call was a T6, so like if you change the T code in the old call and then you A-called it, you know, copied all the info over, and the new call starts with a 6, then no, it wouldn't count. But if you A-called a 3 and then change the T code to a 6, then yes it does, because you just basically started a new T3 call. Yeah, I know, huh? I know. All right, no problem, Richard. All right, bye. That was the reason that you all have a phonetic next to your name now, or at least a letter on this system. And this guy made a big stink about it. It's like, they keep telling me Romeo. I don't have any Romeo in there. Well, yeah, because they got a real, AAA wants our real names up there, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then this, you know, they don't know who the phonetics are, especially new people like this guy is. Very strong-willed man, you know. It's more of arguing to who's going to talk with this guy first. And I think he's starting to learn that when I want to say something, I'm going to say it. And you're going to give me a sec to talk, and then I'll let you talk. But that's the thing, it winds up being battle of who's going to talk at the time between me and him. And I've got to let off a little bit because I start
so
getting...
who's going to run that call?
Echo is running it.
Oh, Echo is?
It's a T4 in Buena Park. Okay, so before I put that back on, I'm going to squeeze that closed because I think it's loose. And then maybe we'll clean it a little bit because resistance is how these work. So if there's too much resistance, it's not going to work very well. All right, so we moved this. We were able to get to that, no problem. I had to pull the base plate out the way. So we just got to take these 2 bolts out, move this, which it's going to puke, and then we'll be able to change the thermostat. The nice thing about this is that last time I changed this thermostat, I bought the reusable gasket. No sealers, no BS. So I've got the nice reusable gasket in there. It's got that, you know, rubber ring on it. Okay, grab me those cutters that are on the door right there. They should be red. I'm gonna cut that zip tie. And this thing's gonna kind of leak out here in a second. I already anticipate that.
These ones right here, right?
Yeah, the red diagonals. Alright, because I got a zip tie here somewhere that's kind of pissing me off. Yeah, that one there. It just hasn't been cut. The tail hasn't been cut off, that's all. Okay, there it is. Alright, so these are loose. Learned over the years not too much pressure on these when you tighten them down, snug them. These are cast iron water necks, and I've actually cracked them tightening this thing down too much. Yeah, well, they rust, you know, freaking everything rusts. I probably should have painted this one, but yet again, outside an AutoZone, it broke, and I had to run. AutoZone didn't have it. I actually wound up having to run across the street because we had one of those independent hardware stores up in Elsinore there.
Yeah.
And I ran over there because they have a lot of the shit for the older cars, and the guy had one right in the back. He had one, but he had it in the back. I remember having to do that once. Okay, so, oh motherfucker! Yep, thought it was gonna leak. Oh well, I just lost a bunch of coolant. Oh, it'll break off eventually. Yeah, it is what it is. Past that. So, well, that could be a problem too, because if I stand to believe correctly, these are supposed to go like that. It's supposed to open upward. That thermostat was sitting in there like that. I mean, I'm sure that would help the flow, but it's supposed to be like that. Okay, so we have that new thermostat. They make the fail-safe brand. I hate those things. I do not like them.
Oh, the
fail-safe, yeah. They're supposed to fail open. There's a flaw in those. I had one, it failed, and it failed at an angle, so half open, half closed. So when it failed with restricted flow. Failed open, but restricted. Which doesn't help me on any bit, because if it failed, it's supposed to fail fully open. It wasn't fully open, it was half open. So that kind of fucks shit up too. There's my gasket. Make sure my gasket's in there. We'll just top this thing off with distilled. Probably only lost maybe it looks like a lot, but it's probably only maybe like a, I don't know, what would you say, like a quarter gallon. Could have been a half gallon for all I know, but I'll get a gallon of distilled and throw it in there. You can go thinner on this shit, you don't want to go thicker. And since it is a cast iron block, I do like to use distilled.
Oh yes.
Fucking rust, man. Fucking rust. It's a nightmare. The moment you put regular water in this shit, it fucking rusts.
Yep.
Alright, that's tight. It's tight. Okay. Let's see. That's snug tight, you know, we don't need to go tighter than that. Like I said, we got a, you know, a rubber gasket there, so maybe I'll just check and see if I can go a hair more. Nope. We're using this thing as a torque wrench because these are limiting me. Okay, no, that's as tight as we're gonna go. Okay, so now we gotta put back our vacuum lines and the distributor. Nice Edelbrock carburetor with a little bit of scorch to the front of it. That was in the fucking fuel line leak. This thing caught on fire. But good thing was I had the hood open already, so I saw it right away and put it out before it actually got a chance to destroy anything. Well, it did. It destroyed a wire. The wire that goes to the, I think it's the wire that goes to this little harness. There was like 4 wires in it. Just melted it. It didn't get all the way through, but it melted the rubber together. So just to be on the safe side, I repaired that. Cut out that bad section, repaired it with a new section. Hold on, I gotta find the other clip. And just wipe the garbage off that. This is the DuraSpark distributor, vacuum advanced. Although okay, so on your regular, on my other truck, it has an actual crankshaft position sensor. These use a cam sensor, which is right up here on top instead. So they still have a sensor to monitor the positioning, the spark firing or the timing of it, but it's relatively
I hate the ones that are in the distributor.
This one is in the distributor.
No, I hate those ones.
It wasn't bad. I got interesting figuring out how I had to change it. I think I had to, oh no, you pull that shit up and there's 2 bolts that hold it in, but then you have to, yeah, you got to take that cap off and whatnot. Let's make sure these vacuum lines are on there because we don't want a vacuum leak. That would be horrible. Emissions crap. We got that back one here. I couldn't find, it's a PCV, but I couldn't find the actual gasket that goes there that you can lock in and put the PCV right in the gasket. So the next best solution was just the breather. It's got just basically it's got the filter in there and then the PCV in that. Because these both of these valve covers are the same. So, all right. The last thing we were gonna do was just mess with that that wire there for the sensor. Okay, so it looks relatively clean. I see brass. I mean, a little dirty brass, but I see brass. It is, however, loose. So the simple solution to that is we take the pliers and let's see where the pinch point is on that. Pinch point is this way. So we're gonna pinch it closed. This also works on battery terminals. See, there we go. Probably overdid it, but that's me, overdo everything. That means I should be able to hardly shove this thing on there and it'll hold real nice. Yep, it's on there. Okay. The oil shit's back here. Oil sending unit. I thought maybe it's that, but maybe I should pull that apart and just see if that shit's plugged or something. I don't know. Right valve cover's leaking oil. So is the left one. You can see how it's vaporizing up there. It's just leaking out the seals. That's kind of where I figure my oil leak is. It's just the valve covers.
Nothing what
they always leak.
It's a common problem for all motors.
Yep, especially with the old cork style. Or I tried using the rubber gaskets. I don't like those. They always seem to leak because they dry and crack real fast.
Well, what I've always used on the rubber ones, silicone.
Well, in that case, just use silicone. You don't even need the gasket.
Well, it just helps it.
Yeah, I know. Now I get you on that. Well, yeah, because on rubber you're supposed to use silicone. On cork you're supposed to use the gasket sealer.
Yes.
But you don't actually have to use gasket sealer on cork. You can put those in dry. They will soak in and swell. But the gasket sealer, what it does is help you position them because it basically makes them sticky so they stick. Pretty much that's it. I've always used gasket sealer and never had any issues with that. This is the old one. So the new one's 195 degrees. And this one is 160 degrees. I remember I custom ordered this because I was trying to get something a little lower. We went back to the original spec on this to 195 and we'll see if that makes a difference. Mainly it's going to be if it starts shooting it back into the tank. Got a new cap here. These are the things that always fail. Or if I can go, they don't let pressure out when they're supposed to. Or let shit in. I mean, it lets shit in. It's got 2 valves. One's an in and one's an out. Okay, so we're all tightened up here. We're all tightened up here. We're all buttoned up here. We're plugged in there. That shit's all there. We just got to put the air cleaner in. And I think that's it. We'll run it for a minute. I'll check in the back, see if I got any water. Or at least run it for a minute, get it warmed up. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll just run it, get it warmed up, let it burn the shit off. This is a stupid vacuum line that goes to the breather that doesn't work. The tubes are busted off. And they don't have a replacement for those. You can't get new ones of those. I've seen, what are the fixes I've seen with those? It's brass tubes. Clean those up, open it a little bit, put the brass tube in there, and then glue it in place, and then trim the end off so you've got a new spout coming out. I just haven't gotten around to buying material to do that, and you know, time. Time is always the big one. So let's put my air cleaner back on. We hook the breather back up to it. This one doesn't burn oil though, so I don't think we're having any issues there. I love the amount of crap they put on these things nowadays. Older motors wouldn't have half of this shit. At least all the vacuum stuff would be gone. You maybe still would have one for the distributor, one or two here and there, but that's it.
I almost towed a Lincoln Continental. It was a 1960 Continental.
It's gonna probably be a 5.0.
No.
Small block 8.
No, fuck no.
6?
Same order as this.
Somebody did that custom. They didn't come that way. They did not make the Lincolns with the big block because they didn't need it. There's no weight. The car's, I mean, the car's heavy, but the car's not heavy enough to where you need the big ass engine to move it. The reason they put the big motor in this truck is, one, this truck's heavy as shit, and two, it's pulling stuff. And that's why the 460, because this comes with 3 options. It comes with a small block, medium block, and a big block. Medium block being the 351, which is more common in the F250, or the 460, the 2 most common engines in this truck. The 460 was a big common one though because of the builds for towing. You know, and the easiest way to tell if it was a tow build, just look on the side of the truck. Does it say roll along or XLT? You know, that's basically your tow package. So that's that. Let's start the bastard up and see where we get. And I think I need my keys. That would be helpful. Yeah. Well, I can start it without them, but I don't really want to mess with all the wiring. And I guess the fuel issue I'm having, checking a few things, there's that T that's right there. It's like a valve or a vent valve, and it's got to be letting fuel back to the tank when I'm not running. When it's sitting, so it's bleeding out the line. And in that case, that's causing me to lose prime. That's why I have to pump it to start. Otherwise, this thing would prime itself. It's got electric fuel pumps, self-priming system. When you turn the key on, it primes for about 5 seconds. How's that thing looking? My fan blade looks pretty good. Oh, it's kind of short though, but...
I'll put your hand in there and see what happens?
Fuck no, there's a warning right on that bitch. It will cut your ass. Just put your hand near it and see if it's pulling air. Put your hand above it. I'm gonna step on the gas and see if it blows. Ready? I heard that. That's your finger?
No. I put my arm right
Against the pulley. Was it blowing though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good. I don't think we'll have too much of an issue with it as long as it's blowing, so that means it's sucking. Although this is the importance of the fan shroud. No fan shroud, that's not going to be doing me a whole lot of good. Yeah. Right now, let's just check for leaks. Then other than that, we'll shut it off because I don't need it to warm up. There's air in the system right now, and I got to add fluid, so.
Well, let me put the plug bit away.
Alright, shut her down. She's good. Alright, well that'd be a thermostat change out and an ECT sensor change out. And if you're all curious on this, this is pretty generic for the F250s in the 80s era. This is an 86 F250. The XLT doesn't really matter, but 86 F250 two-wheel drive, 7.5 liter, 460 cubic inch engine. So the OEM directed AutoZone part on this is 15359 for the thermostat, and for the ECT sensor it's a TU25 for the temp switch. They call it a temp switch, but it's engine coolant temperature switch, or temp switch for short. And those are pretty easy. It's just all it is the temperature portion's here, and then it grounds and reads out through there. So this one's kind of chewed up, and you know that can be an issue too. Anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching.